Welcome everyone. This is Keith L. Jones, and I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our live hangout for this evening. Well, yes, evening. It's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on other parts of the world is a little bit earlier and a little bit later. However, we have a exciting hangout for you today. It's me, myself, and our first presenter, who I'm about to, introduce to everyone. So we could get this thing started because we don't want to take up too much of your time. It is my pleasure to have this gentleman on our team, part of our family, and a business partner of mine. He's a family man, definitely. He's helping many earn plenty. He's teaching me tons things about this industry, and it's just a pleasure to lock arms with him and just learn and build a phenomenal family together. So with that being said, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Andre Campbell. Andre, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Keith, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tremendous. Hey, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the introduction. I want to say welcome to all of our guests who are joining us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some great things going on. We're super excited. The Avail Pros team, our community, our family, we're helping many and earning plenty, and that's our goal. If you do not know by now, we're simply helping people live a first-class lifestyle. What I want you to understand is that we have a very simple system, easy to follow, easy to duplicate. All you have to do is position yourself and follow it. I also want you to understand that most people think that knowledge is power. However, we know that only applied knowledge is power. So what I'm going to show you right now is the number one thing that can, have an impact on your success, not only in our business, but also in life. Let's face it, the systematic part of it, we've got that taken care of. That's simple. All you have to do is just follow our 7 steps, and we have other tools to help you. And Mr. Jones is going to touch on some of those. What I want you to understand, the number one thing is your personal self-belief. This affects your success not only in our industry, not only in our business, but in everything you do in life. What is self-belief? Self-belief is the number one determining factor for a person's success. So I want you to look at this. It doesn't matter where you are in life, whether you had massive success in the past, or like the majority of people, you may have not been as successful as you would have liked to be. Self-belief is simply confidence in your own abilities or judgment. To achieve any goal in life, we must have self-belief and believe that we're going to be successful. Without that, it's very hard for you to have success in any aspect of life. Let's look at some of the things, how we apply this to grow your business. One, I often say, in order to hit a goal, you have to be able to see your target. What is your target? Very simple, to get to the top of the comp plan. And the great things, we have 3 high payout comp plans that you can reach. And because of timing and positioning, you can definitely get to the top of all 3 of these comp plans. Now, in doing all that, what are you going to accomplish? One, you're going to help a lot of people. You're going to help yourself, your family, and you're going to earn thousands of dollars in commissions from the companies that are paid out to you. Now, a few things that can affect, your self-belief is just having the ideal, looking at your goal, what you're going to accomplish. A lot of people, they say, well, I want to earn, a lot of money. What is a lot of money? Have a goal, have a set target that you can work on. People often ask me, well, Andre, how do I know if I'm going to be successful in this business? How do I know if I have what it takes? It's very, very simple. We can always tell the people who are going to be successful. And it's simply the ones who believe they are. That's it. That's what it comes down to you. Your belief system. Do you believe that you're going to be successful? That's really what it comes down to. I also want you to understand that the only place we're going to find success before work is always only in the dictionary. So if you're willing to roll up your sleeves, follow our simple system, you can make it happen. Let's look at the state of our self-belief. Today, a lot of people don't understand that wherever you are right now, this is just the makeup from all the decisions we made, things we did in the past, and that's what got us to where we are today. So if you're at a place and you say, you know what, I don't really like the way things turned out, I don't like where I am in my life, all we have to do is going forward is to do those things day in, day out. That's going to give us a better outcome. A lot of people allow past experiences, to keep them from even trying to go after their goals and dreams. I didn't do good in marriage. I didn't do good in school. I failed in business, all the different things that hold people back. So do not allow your past experiences to affect today's self-belief. Number two, social conditioning and the opinions of other people. Now, social conditioning is very powerful because this is everything that society says about us. You're from the wrong side of the tracks. You didn't go to this school, or your parents didn't have this, or you don't have that, or you're this, or you don't look like that. Social conditioning can really have a dramatic effect on a person's self-belief. The next thing, the opinions of other people. Many people allow the opinions of others to, frame their self-belief of themselves. Personal conditioning. This is a big one. Matter of fact, this is the most powerful one. No one is going to speak to you more every day than you do to yourself. No one's going to have a stronger impact on your self-belief, your own personal conditioning. This is how we feel about ourselves, the things we say to ourselves. So it's very important, as a part of our team, this is why we give training on mindset and different things like that. And Mr. Jones is going to touch on some of those things and how powerful they are in affecting all aspects of your life, whether it's in business, personal relationships, school, or anything else. Another powerful thing is people only do what they believe. I tell people all the time, your actions will definitely speak much louder than your words. People are only going to make moves on what they believe. Why do people get up and go to a job, 9 to 5, work, some people over 40 hours? Because they believe at the end of the week, they're going to get some kind of compensation. People only do what they believe. When you sit down in a chair, you don't pick the chair up first and look at it to see if it's going to hold you up, because you believe that chair is going to support you. So this is why your belief has to be strong to follow your actions. Let's look at some verbal and nonverbal. What I want you to understand as you're going on your journey of success in business, that people around you, other business partners, potential customers, people can gauge, your self-belief by a lot of the times by what you say, the words that are coming out of your mouth. Are they positive? Are they, positive affirmations? Are they uplifting? Are they solution oriented? Or are they, words of defeat, words of giving up, words of quitting? So it's very important, our verbal and nonverbal belief affecting our self-belief. Of course, our actions. That's an easy one. People, look at what you do, not just what you say. Their vibrations of self-belief can definitely be felt by other people. I'm going to tell you a story. Years ago, there was a man, and he lived in this western town. Every day he would go out mining for gold in this mine out in the country. Every day he would come back in, go to the same saloon, sit down, have a drink. People began to pick on him after years, saying, have you struck gold today? Did you get rich today? You're still going out there, calling him a fool, all different types of things. One day he went out there, and you know what? He struck it rich. He found gold. So what he said to himself is, I'm going to go back into town. I'm not going to say a word to anyone. I'm going to do my same normal routine. And this is what he proceeded to do. Went to town, went to the same saloon, had the same drinks at the same place, did everything the same. The next day, he goes back out to the mine. As he gets closer to the mine in the distance, he begins to see movement. As he gets even closer, he sees the shapes of people. As he reaches to the mine, he finds out half the town was there at the mine. He began frantically asking people, who told you, who saw me, how did you guys find out? And he asked this one gentleman, how did you all know? And they said, we can see it all over you, your body language, your face. Something was different, so people can pick up on these things that affect what you think, what you say, and your self-belief in yourself. What we're going to do, we're going to pick up the rest of this training next week on our webinar. So definitely be sure to join us as we go over part 2 of self-belief. Right now, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Jones.
Wow, thank you for that awesome training, Mr. Campbell. It was funny because I see why when I told you what I was going to do, why you said, hey, I thought you was going to do this. And I'm like, well, we did that yesterday. But actually, after hearing what you did, it's actually going to piggyback off of what you did. So, honestly, I like awesome training. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump into it. I'm not going to go too in depth or take too much of your time. Webinars and calls, 15 to 30 minutes, just to give you some valuable information and to get you to thinking how you can build your business. But what I really want to go over first is the 7 steps to success. I'm just going to touch over them. What I want you to do is to write them down. I don't care if you know them. I don't care if you. I've learned throughout my life, the more you write something down, the more you will retain that information, okay? So the first step to our 7-step system is, number 1, write down a list of the top 20 people you know. Leaders or people that have influence, people that's business-minded, people that's looking to make a change in their life. Write down the top 20 people that you know. Okay, great. Number 2, call them and ask, have you seen the new system which is paying people multiple streams of income? Always be in a rush. Just ask them, hey, John, have you seen the new system which is paying people multiple streams of income? Number 3, now what you do is invite them to one of our 3-shot methods to receive a presentation of your business. It's our one of the methods is our internet and social media sites. Send them to availpros.com. Another one is our training and support webinars. You're on one of our training and support webinars. And lastly, to complete the trifecta, is our conference calls that we have Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? And we're always going to have them, come back to the person who invited them. So we're always going to tell them, after the call, after the webinar, okay, now what we'd like you to do is to get back in contact with the individual who invited you to hear this great information. All right. 9 times out of 10, they'll have a couple questions that you should be able to answer. And then you can move on to step 4, which is sign up your prospect into your programs. Send them your information so they can sign up. They should have all their questions answered and ready to go. All right. Now, step 5 is to teach all your new signups, business partners, how to use the 7-step system. That's step 5. To teach them how to utilize the 7-step system. Don't tell them, walk them through it like I'm doing with you now. See, all we're doing is duplicating. So all we're going to do is walk them through it like I'm walking you through it now. Step 6 is to spend at least 1 hour daily, 5 days a week, your first 21 days performing these steps. Set aside an hour a day for 21 days straight, performing these steps. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Step 7 is, I believe, the best one of them all, is to enjoy your multiple streams of weekly and monthly income. All right? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let you sink that in, make sure you have all of them. All right, great. So now it's going to come to me explaining my mindset training and piggyback off of what Andre was just speaking about. But first, I want to tell you why I chose to do the 7 steps first. Is because a lot of people will see the 7 steps. Maybe you're watching this video now, and I asked you to write them down regardless of what, if you knew them already, if you didn't know them, or maybe you did. But for the ones that didn't, it comes to a mindset. Why didn't you do it? I don't know. I'm not there with you. Only you know. Now, if everyone that's watching this video did it, I'm grateful. I'm happy. We're going to learn. But I'm talking to those ones that didn't do it. Now, you're the only one that didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Because you're making the money? Because you're teaching your team? Because you're too good to do this? This is elementary. Whatever the reason you're giving someone, is just an excuse. And an excuse is the tools of the weak and incompetent, of those who would never amount to anything. Those are the only people that uses excuses. All right. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you 7 laws of how the mind works. Okay. And these are not my words, and I'm not saying you have to believe in everything that these laws state, but just take the just comprehend what I'm saying. Okay. So there's 7 laws of how the mind works, and how you could control your mind, and how you could control how you look at things to help you build your business. Okay. So the first one is the law of substitution. The law of substitution. The law states that we cannot think about 2 things at the same time. If a negative thought enters your mind, try to think about God instead, or whatever it is. If that is too big of a reach at the time, use any fond memory or other pleasant thought. Remember that Jesus was the master teacher, and he said, resist not evil, meaning turn from it and think about something else instead. So what that means, and what I took from there, again, I'm not trying to force any views on you. It's just the law that I'm using. So again, I'm just sharing this law. But in a nutshell, what that's saying is, anytime that you have a negative thought, try to control the way that you think and substitute that negative thought with a positive thought. So think about something that made you smile. It might have been, being in the delivery room with your firstborn child, or any child, or seeing your girlfriend for the first time, or saying I do at your wedding, or scoring that touchdown, in the biggest game of this year when you played ball. Whatever, thought that you have a positive thing. So like right now, try to, anytime that you think of something negative, control that thought and think of something positive, whatever it may be. And that's the law of substitution. And what that's going to teach you is we control what we believe, what we think. So anytime something negative come in your mind, switch that negative thought with something positive. I hope you're getting me. And maybe, hopefully, and Andre is going to tell me if I'm talking too, far-fetched for you. But these laws I practice and they work. Okay. The second law is the law of relaxation. Okay, mental effort defeats itself. Exactly the opposite of physical effort. A relaxed, calm state of mind is the only doorway to progress mentally. Relaxation of thought is the only access to infinite intelligence. So, we have to relax our thoughts. It's that simple. It's just like, the physical, it's the opposite of physical effort. In order to have a clean, and mental, diet for our brain, we have to relax our mind. And what that states, so what that's basically telling you in a nutshell is to meditate. Think about nothing. Just relax and meditate. Start meditating for 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Just meditate and just clear your mind and think about nothing. In the beginning, it's going to be hard because you never did it before, but meditate. All right. Law number 3, the law of practice. Practice makes perfect. The 5 P's. Perfect practice prevents poor performance. That's just like in the 7 steps. Practice, practice, practice. Perfect practice prevents poor performance. So the more you practice a 7, step system, the better you're going to become. All right. So our mind needs bewilderment of magnificence in others. Upon further inspection, finds, as Wooden, that's John Wooden, shares, you find most of it in practice, the rest of it in work. With practice of the correct things, we improve on the other 6 laws of the mind. So the more you practice the 7 steps, the better you become. Just like in the sports, we're watching the NBA playoffs are, underway. They practiced for a whole season, even while they were playing games. We didn't see it, but the ones that practiced and got better made it to the playoffs. Or you're like some teams, like Andre's team, the Miami Heat, they still practice and didn't make it to the playoffs. Sometimes it happens. But, my Cavs is doing pretty well. However, we're not talking about a physical activity right now. We're talking about practicing 7 steps. Don't be like Allen Iverson back in the day when he said practice. We are talking about practice now. But what happened to Iverson, as he grew and got older, by him not practicing so much, he wasn't able to rely on his athletic ability like so many superstars now in the later years. Look at Kobe Bryant. He's about 37, 38, and he's still able to play at a high level because he practiced his craft. And that's the difference. So practice those 7 steps, and while practicing them the correct way, you will improve. Okay? So that's number 3. 4 more, and we'll be done. The law of forgiveness. To access the divine and to access the divine and connect the subconscious to the ultimate creator, which is just a force, we have to forgive everyone and anyone to clear that channel. There can be no connection to the divine mind where anger and resentment against a brother or a sister, justified or not, exist. So basically, we hear that all the time, that we must forgive. And I can only talk to you about my personal experience. Growing up, I had a certain family member that didn't treat me, fairly good, and it took me a long time to forgive this person. However, it was hurting me because this person didn't he didn't care about how I felt. It wasn't even bothering him, but I kept that bottled up. So in order for me to keep that anger outside of me and not have that no more, I had to forgive that person, and live with what happened. And that's what I did. And I feel 10 times better because now I don't have those angry thoughts. I don't have that resentment against that person Because even if I did, I'm allowing that person to affect me while they're not even thinking, about me. So the law of forgiveness is, if someone didn't, teach you the right things in the industry before you got here, forgive them. Don't blame them for your success. Honestly, they open a doorway for you to find your own path and to find the necessary knowledge to help you become successful. If it wasn't for them to at least open the door and show you a little peek of what it could be, you wouldn't be here striving for success. Okay. Number 5, the law of dual thought. Thought is a combination of our idealism and feeling. We can attach any feeling to a thought we want. And this is simple. So let's say you want to complete the 7-step system every day for an hour. Okay. So once you complete that 7-step system in a day, attach the feeling and the thought process of when you completed that pass in the game or when you got married. You could attach a thought to any action that you complete. And once you attach those type of thoughts to those actions, it's like, it's like a drug. You're going to want to feel that way more and more. So what's going to happen? You're going to start completing that hour a day doing those 7 steps daily, because now you're attaching a thought to those 7 steps. And once you complete it, now you're telling yourself how to feel. That's powerful. All right. So that's the law of dual thought. 2 more. The law of subconscious. As soon as the subconscious accepts the idea, it becomes a demand, and it works constantly 24/7 to manifest demand, accessing a reservoir of infinite resources. I'm going to say that again. As soon as the subconscious accepts the idea, it becomes a demand, and it works consciously 24/7 to manifest the demand, accessing a reservoir of infinite resources. What did I state? What did I mean in a nutshell? Once your subconscious accepts that you're going to be successful in Avail Pros 24/7, your mind is going to be working for you without you even having to tell it what to do. Prime example, when we was younger, we learned how to tie our shoe. Think about how many times you tie your shoe throughout the week without even thinking about it. You look at your shoe, your laces is untied, you instantly go down there and tie up your shoe. That's the law of subconsciousness. Once you accept that you will be successful, your mind is going to show you ways how to become successful. It's just the way our mind is, created. Our mind is more powerful than a computer. It's just the way it is. If it wasn't for our mind, a computer wouldn't be created right now. A phone, this computer, we wouldn't be on the computer right now if our mind wasn't as powerful. I would say if our mind wasn't more powerful than this computer. Someone created this. This idea of this computer and phones came from someone's mind. That's how powerful our mind is. All right. So think about that. Last one, the law of growth. Whatever we think about grows. What we forget are trophies. So if all you're thinking about is growing, becoming successful, getting better day by day, and you're thinking about that subconsciously, you're going to push yourself to do what you have to do daily. I could tell by the ones that's watching this video and Andre being on this panel tonight and myself, we're thinking about getting better and helping other people become better. That's why we're on these webinars. That's why we do these calls, because we're working to grow. That's the law of growth. For those ones that doesn't visualize them getting better or things of that nature, they might be watching Empire, watching the game. So you see what's more important. Things happen, and I understand. However, if you truly want to get better, if you truly want to grow, subconsciously, you're going to make every necessary and possible effort to grow within your business or what it is you're doing. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the 7 laws of the mind. I hope you enjoyed that training. It was a little bit long-winded. However, I hope you understand and comprehend some of the concepts that I explained. And if you need to see this hangout again, it will be recorded. So we will be posting it, within the Facebook groups for your enjoying, viewing pleasures. I just want to open up to Andre and see if he wanted to, piggyback off of anything he said or anything I said. Andre, is there anything you would like to say about the training, or you want me to go ahead and close this thing out?
Hey, just want to say great training. I'm here taking copious notes. And like myself, I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of great content on that. We definitely appreciate it. Hey, your mind, what we continually think about is what prospers and magnifies in our life. So, hey, great work. And that's all I have. And I just want everyone to know we're super excited. Big things are going on. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, coming from Keith L. Jones and my main right-hand man, Andre Campbell, that concludes this tonight's webinar. We'll see you tomorrow for our final conference call of this week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be doing another Google Hangout next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, that concludes this Hangout. Thank you, and we'll see you on the beaches of the world.